Alright, so this is my first time having 3 videos in one day, but I definitely gotta release this video. Drake this Kendrick Lamar, and then for our podcast, gonna talk about it. I'm gonna watch like 10 to 12 minutes of this video. I'm not watching all 26 minutes. We're gonna go and start though, like and subscribe.
There is a new Drake diss that surfaced online towards Kendrick Lamar. The entire world was waiting for it, and we finally got it. So if you guys want to check out our future reactions to future disses, such as Kendrick Lamar's future diss, or maybe some other ones that come out, check the pinned comment. We're going to react to them live on Patreon. But Lou, let's get into this.
Yeah, it was so weird because like I was out and then randomly I see something about a Drake diss, but I'm wondering if it's AI or not. So when I get home, I was eating in the car and stuff, so I definitely wasn't about to pull up Twitter and listen to the song. But I put up the song, I'm like, this could definitely be AI because obviously the audio was off because it was a leak. And then just the way Drake was talking, but it ended up not being AI. And the final version of the track definitely was needed, like because if DJ Academics didn't get sent that final version of the track, people probably would have still been debating if it was AI or not. I'm gonna be honest, but good thing it wasn't.
A massive moment for hip-hop. And listen, word was is that this was fake at first, and then we got the second version. It sounded complete, and then after that, Elliott Wilson came out and said that this is official. So just before we get into the breakdown, how do you feel about it?
We've reached the fucking infinity war of hip-hop right now, and Drake is Thanos, bro. It's really 20 versus 1, like he's saying. We've never seen anything like this in hip-hop history. Even if you want to go back to Tupac on Hit 'Em Up, where he was going at Junior Mafia and Biggie. If you want to take it to Takeover, where Jay-Z was going at fucking Mobb Deep and Nas and whoever else. We've never seen a rapper in the position Drake's in go for this many targets that are not just some low-key rappers, underground backpack rappers. No, these are some of the biggest artists in the industry, and he is sending
Kendrick, Metro, Rick Ross, Future, like he went over even this John Morant. The John Morant this is crazy because randomly I seen John Morant tweeted stay on that side. He tweeted that, and then yeah, that's where the Drake diss came from. But apparently it's because John Morant's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or something like that. Drake started dating her, and I guess they've had beef since. So, oh yeah, also he dissed the weekend, but I'm gonna be honest, the weekend diss was probably the weakest one on there because most people don't know what he's talking about. That's like an industry thing. You had to be in the industry and really tapped into the weekend, I guess.
out verbal assault at all of them. This is literally like Thanos, where 1 second he's kicking
Glaze.
Doctor Strange, then he's throwing fire out at Iron Man, then he's punching Nebula. Drake goes from Future to Rick Ross to Metro Boomin.
Absolutely.
He is not stopping on this track. The energy feels malicious. He's spitting fucking venom. And what I love the most about this is that he's taunting these guys, bro. He is reenacting Kendrick Lamar ad-libs with the and then he's going for an interpolation of the Future wicked, wicked, wicked hook. Like, he thought this out so well. It's a strategic move.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Almost every line you could take something from it. Almost every line. There's a couple lines where he's like talking about some nails and so on. But besides that, yeah.
And I'm happy that we waited this long. But let me ask you, what was your feeling when you first heard it?
I was shocked just because once you start to get into the diss track, you realize how calculated he is. And obviously, we're going to go through the bars, but it's just so well structured. And what's cool about it as well is that I feel like this is maybe an intro for something else. This is possibly going to lead up to something else because there was 2 different versions that were released online, right? You had the original version that was completely different, right? You had different production. You didn't get the academics memo on the beat switch, right? Saying who's top 5 are you smoking on Kendrick? So it was a completely different version of it, but
it wasn't that different. Let's be for real.
This one that we did get, that Elliott Wilson said was complete, listen, it's definitely scary, and I want to see what happens next because once you go towards the end of the track, it seems like something got cut off.
There's a beat switch,
absolutely,
and then you have Drake saying, "I was gonna keep it PG," which is a double entendre. Like, I was gonna keep it clean cut, parental guidance, but also PG lying. So
absolutely.
I wonder.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's nice.
Where that's headed, but I'm just happy that this.
Oh, that could be like the second diss track, honestly. And I'm actually very curious to see what Kendrick does. I feel like if Kendrick does release a diss track And at this point, he has to, bro. Kendrick has released a diss track. Probably gonna be produced by Metro. I did just see his TikTok though. It was funny. He said, "Why would Metro go back to the studio and make another beat after Drake just told him to make some beats?" Bro, but anyway, Kendrick this he's probably gonna mention the J Cole thing where he delete his diss track and then apologized a couple days later and then was on the album. But he's definitely gonna go after Drake. I'm curious to what he's gotta say though, because Drake said a lot, and then not even that, you get the Ghost Rider rumors right after that. So let's see. Dang, I'm 5 minutes in. They're only 2 minutes in.
This ended up happening because so many people were saying Drake wasn't going to be a formidable opponent against Kendrick Lamar. They were saying, oh, his ghostwriters are going to maybe cook something up for him. Fuck all that. We're in war right now. And as we have it, when I'm looking at the Like That verse from Kendrick in comparison to this full 4-minute diss song from Drake, Drake is in the lead. It's a long race. The race isn't over. But we'll get more into it in the breakdown because I want to explain.
Yeah, Drake is
Explain why I think Drake outdid what Kendrick did on Like That.
For sure. Well, he delivered you close to a 4-minute track. And even at this point, I want to say this. Watch out for this Kendrick Lamar diss track because he has no choice but to answer this.
It's going to be nuts, bro.
This is going to be crazy. And that's why I like this move from Drake is because obviously Kendrick Lamar is known as the boogeyman, right? And we've admitted in so many different podcasts, that's just a guy you don't want to fuck with. He's literally one of the best lyricists to ever do it. And to be able to open up the floodgates now to this battle, it's going to be interesting to see what Kendrick Lamar does next, but let's get into this. So the song starts off with this first lyric. I can never be nobody #1 fan. Your first #1, I had to put it in your hands. And obviously, this is in reference to Future because Future on, I believe it was We Don't Trust You, which was the intro track off of We Don't Trust You between Metro Boomin and Future, called Drake a fan. And obviously, that's probably not the case in Drake's eyes because Drake gifted Future his first #1 in 2021 with Way Too Sexy off of CLB. So how do you feel like he started off the track with that first?
That's crazy that out of all the songs of CLB, that went #1. That's so weird. Why are y'all listening to Way Too Sexy of all the songs of CLB, bro?
First lyric.
Well, right away, it's like, I like the fact that he's going at Future with that line because how could you even answer back to that?
You can't answer
back.
back.
You can't, bro. It's a fact. He's stating facts all across this fucking this whole song, bro. And I feel like the thing about Future, too, as a target is that I like the fact that he didn't even spend too much time on him because realistically speaking, I don't think any of us really imagine Future being able to clap back with a full track because lyrically, he's just not cut from the same cloth. He's not.
Oh wow. This better not be the intro to a Future diss track. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. But I don't think it's impossible.
What is Future going to do in a diss track? I'm sorry,
No,
but
there's
he's
nothing
not
that
that
he's
type of MC. But let's keep on going. You pussies can't get booked outside of America for Nan. I'm out in Tokyo because I'm big in Japan. I do think some of these artists could probably tour all across the world, but I get what he's saying. He's the biggest artist in the world, and he's flexing
Internationally,
that.
no one can touch him.
I'm still with him here. I'm the hitmaker. Depend on. Very true. A lot of people, as we'll get into later with some of the Rick Ross stuff, a lot of people do depend on Drake and his hit making ability. You won't ever take no chain off us. This is where we get to the Kendrick Lamar disses. How the fuck you big stepping with a size 7 man's on? So this is a direct response to what Kendrick said on Like That when he said, we snatching chains. You got 2 T's with me. I'm snatching chains and burning tattoos. It's up. Drake is saying you'll never snatch a chain off.
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously the Big 7 is referring to Miss Morale and the big stuff.
To me, and that's why I think Drake wins this round is because this is one of the many moments where he's taking precise lines that Kendrick shot out at him on Like That, and he's responding to them, and he's twisting them away to his own favor and his own advantage.
Absolutely.
And of course, the size 7 man's on, he's making fun of Kendrick's size, which he'll do that multiple times
within the track.
Exactly.
All right, let's keep going on with this. The next one, this is another big diss towards Kendrick Lamar, kind of attacking his business and his business relationship with Top Dog Entertainment, saying, extortion, baby, whole career you've been shook up because Top told you drop and give me 50 like some...
Bro, that whole double entendre is crazy. He's talking about splits in the pants. Like, bro. But, yeah, that's crazy how he had that. 50%. I don't know if it still does, but 50% goes to whoever the person.
Push-ups, huh? So basically, this is the main chorus throughout the song, and it's the part of the song that people are catching on to the most. And it's also insinuating the fact that Kendrick Lamar has been taken advantage of, especially on the business side of things for his records, saying that him and Top Dog have been splitting 50-50 on all of his records, and he should be looking into his deal before he's going to speak to Drake about any sort of business or any sort of music.
Absolutely. But the next
yeah,
big
the
one
one is nuts too.
be your last one bricked. You're really not on shit.
Yeah, talking about Miss Morale.
Uses for you because they hate to see me lit. So this is Drake taking somewhat of a similar angle that J. Cole took on 7 Minute Drill.
But he's not doing the whole catalog.
He's not doing the whole catalog. He's just saying Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers
Commercially, for
wasn't
Kendrick
great.
standards,
wasn't great in terms of the first week sales. And I think that...
Bro, why does everyone keep mentioning first week sales? I think people are past that, bro. It literally just didn't do well in general. Like, if you go back and look at Kendrick's catalog, it's one of his lead projects. There wasn't really a hit on that album. Like, he had to go back and put the Heart Part 5 on that album. He had to go back and do a couple things to that album to make it different. Like, if y'all did not notice, it's not the same. It wasn't. Hold up, bro, I just said it wrong. Mr. Morale isn't separated by 2 discs anymore. It's all in the same album. Like,
to be honest with you, even though he's taking some of the same angles, it feels more lethal here.
Absolutely.
So
it feels more lethal because you're not attacking the entire catalog.
Exactly.
He knows he's not going to be able to touch The Pimp a Butterfly. You can't touch GKMC, and you can't touch Damn.
yeah.
But there could be arguments to be made for Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I still feel like it's an amazing album.
Absolutely.
But he was going after that. But let's keep going on with this.
Yeah, and then they make excuses for you because they hate to see me lit. I like that he's saying that because that is a narrative that is factual, bro. Like, a lot of people are rooting for Drake's downfall. And like I mentioned earlier, they didn't even see him being a horse in this race. And between you and I, we've said this before, we just want to see the best rapper win this battle, whoever comes with the best diss. Take the bias aside and look at who is really dropping the best possible diss tracks.
Absolutely. Well, if you guys could see in the studio, we got the Damn vinyl up back. We have, obviously, you
The
guys
big
have been
three.
Yeah, you guys have been
Yep.
seeing this for a long time. I mean, between Lou and I, Kendrick's been our favorite rapper for such a long time, but even
And Drake is
has-
also one of our
absolutely.
favorites,
and
so-
even J. Cole. So I mean, for us, it was just more of a situation where we wanted to see where things would go. And now it's quite interesting because we do have a response. But let's keep going on with this. Pull up your contract because we got to see the split. The way you're doing splits, bitch, your pants might rip. So this is interesting because in 2022, it was rumored that Drake signed to Universal Music Group for $500 million while being able to keep all of his masters. Drake has seamlessly confirmed this record deal in his song Major Distribution. That's important because he's backing up the fact that, listen, whatever's going on with your business, that's yours, but I'm not taking it, no one's taking advantage of me here. And I'm completely fine with my records. I'm making my money, and no one could really touch my business sort of structure. Drake has been the most dominant. He's been the most business savvy when it comes to his records.
That being said...
And how do you feel about that approach, though?
I think what you said
That's a great approach. I mean, Drake is talking about he got more money.
about Kendrick can respond to that. I'm not sure if I agree just because we don't really know the ins and outs of Kendrick's deals. So
That's true.
We
You're right.
can't really comment on
I'm
that.
just saying in the
but
context of the song and the writing. Let's say we take the song at face value for what it really is. Drake's really putting himself in a position where he's saying, I'm the most dominant on the business and the number side. And
Yes.
there's nothing you could do about it, and you've been mad at me my whole life for it. So that's kind of the way that I'm interpreting it up to now.
I think the more interesting angle is the next one, though. You better do that motherfucking show inside the biddy. Maroon 5 need a verse. You better make it witty. Then we need a verse for the Swifties. Top say drop. You better drop and give them.
Yes, Top. Whoever Top is, he gotta give 50% the Top. But I knew that Kendrick Lamar had the song Maroon 5, bro. That was actually crazy.
50. So I love this angle so much because I feel like Kendrick's angle, or at least one of them, will probably be that Drake is a pop star and that he's ventured into doing all these commercial songs, when in reality, when you really look at it, Kendrick has also ventured into that lane.
Absolutely.
He's made songs with Maroon 5. He's made songs with Taylor Swift. He's had those type...
Yeah, even then, like you see obvious signs of Kendrick trying to do pop stuff, like on Love, or on the song with SZA. Off the weekend, like he was doing that intentionally. I know that was literally a movie soundtrack out, but still.
Types of records where he's collaborating with people that the main hip hop core heads are going to say, Why is he going over there and trying to make some?
Because like you said,
He's eliminating the.
let's Travis got you wiped down.
Yeah, this is interesting because obviously Scissors ain't like this. And then people are also saying that Travis may not even be on Drake's side. And obviously people are just disagreeing in general. But I mean, if we're talking about the stats, the numbers, Drake is right.
Savage got you wiped down. So this one was interesting because they were talking about the Grammys, right? I believe that was it. I was reading a couple of different breakdowns from Twitter, but how did you interpret this bar over here? This one I was kind of like, well, it could kind of be seen different ways. Is it because Travis is doing more numbers now? SZA is doing more numbers. 21's doing more numbers. I don't know if 21's doing more numbers.
I think that's what Drake's intent is here. He's saying like all these artists are bigger than you. They're more relevant than you. People are checking out for them more. They're more active in the industry. But in terms of like you ain't in no big three, I disagree with that. I think ultimately even J. Cole apologizing and the narrative.
Bro, there is no big three. Kendrick doesn't drop music. Drake, half of his album is rap, half of his album is R&B or pop, whatever you want to call it. And J. Cole drops boring music. J. Cole just J. Cole eliminated himself from the big three. His music isn't even that boring, but like, bro, you you apologize to a grown man for dissing you. Then you hop on the album with the artists that help collaborate. Like
Running of J. Cole's now lost his spot in the big three. Fuck all that. Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, no matter what happens in this battle, that big three is cemented, and it was cemented in the 2010s decade.
Absolutely.
You cannot erase history. So I disagree with that sentiment, but let's keep it going. Like your label boy, you in the scope right now, and you're going to feel the aftermath of what I write down. So this was clever. It was witty. Nothing crazy. I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, obviously referencing Interscope, which is a record label,
and Aftermath
and
Records.
Aftermath, which is sort of like underneath Interscope that Kendrick Lamar is signed
Dr.
to as well.
Dre's label,
yes.
yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
I'm
on
at
with
the
this.
top of the mountain, so you tight now. Just have to, just to have this talk with you, I had to hike down, and then we get an interesting.
Yeah, this one's cool. Okay, big difference between Mike then and Mike now.
what's the prince to a king? He has son. That's so wild. Like that goes right into that. That's crazy. And also, if it's going like now, that's probably referring to people saying that the next is better than Prince right now. Back at the time. It was the
What the fuck is this? 20v1. What's a prince to a king? He a son.
Genius.
Absolutely. So this is so cool because obviously on the Like That verse, Kendrick Lamar said, well, listen, at the end of the day, Michael Jackson passed away first and I'm Prince. I'm the one that kept my integrity. I'm the one that released the better music and I'm almost as popular as you in the same sentiment. So Drake clapping back with this is saying, yeah, okay, you had just admitted that you're my son. That's really what it is. So I feel, and it's also cool because Michael Jackson is obviously referenced as, the king of pop, and then after that, playing on that with Prince. I feel like that was really cool.
And the idea that, of course, the Prince is the king's son, and the whole angle of.
All right, I'm gonna end the video right here because I did not expect this to be 20 minutes.